Hey, good morning. It's Joanne Musa, the tax lien lady, and today is your tax lien investing tip. And your tip for today is one simple thing that you can do. This is what I teach my clients to do, the first thing that I teach my coaching clients to do that can really improve your success at tax sales. It can help you pick the right tax sale to go to and pick the right properties to bid on. And that one thing is getting the results of past tax sales. So, getting the results of the past tax sale of the one that you're going to. So, what happened in last year's tax sale at the same place that at the same tax sale that you're going to now, whether you're doing it online or live. Now, if you're going to an online tax sale, this is actually easier to do. All right, because you could go to the online platform. Well, with some platforms, it's easier to do. On the GovEase platform, they want you to pay for results. But if you go to that county, to the county treasurer or tax collector or clerk and master, whoever is responsible for the sale, sometimes you could get the results on their website. Okay. And real auction, if you log in and you're registered for the sale, you can get the results from the previous year's sales. And at Zeus auction, you have to be registered for the previous sale in order to get the results. So if you're interested in bidding on auctions that are on Zeus auction, here's what you should start doing. Register for all the sales, all the tax sales, because they do sheriff sales also. So if there's any tax deed sales or tax lien sales that you're interested in attending in the future, register for the ones that are going on now, okay? Because then next year, when you want to look at the results of this year's sale, you'll be able to see them if you register for the sale. Okay, so every online platform is a little bit different on how you get the results. And what if you're going to a live tax sale? Well, you can't go online and get the results online, but what you can do is go to whoever is doing the tax sale, whether it's the county treasurer, municipal tax collector, or clerk and master. You can go to their website and see if you could get the results there. If you can't, call them and ask them if you can get the results. Now, sometimes you can't for the live tax sales, but if you can, here is how it can help you pick the right place to invest and pick the right properties to invest in. So what are you looking for when you're looking at the results of past tax sales? What you don't want is to see just which properties sold and which properties didn't sell. That's not what you're looking for. You're looking for how much was paid, what they were bid at. So if it's a bid down the interest scenario, then you want to know which properties were not bid down as aggressively. What type of properties were they? You want to look up and see what type of properties they were. And those are the type of properties that you're going to target. Because here's what you find out when you get the results of past tax sales. You find out how much money you need, right? Especially if it is a situation where premium is bid or the price of the deed is bid up or the redeemable deed, the price is bid up. You want to know, well, just how much money do you have to invest and is it worth it, right? Because what if that price is bid up to almost the value of the property or in some cases beyond what the assessed value of the property is, which might not be a problem. You could check with Zillow to find out what the market value supposedly is, right? But if it's being bid up close to the market value, then you don't want to go to that tax sale unless you could find properties that aren't bid up so high. So you want to know what type of properties are not bid as aggressively. Now, you might think, well, I don't want to bid on vacant land, or I don't want to bid on commercial property, or I don't want to bid on trailers. But that's not always the case, okay? I do like bidding on land. I do like bidding on very distressed buildings, properties, and I do like commercial buildings. But there are also other codes, right? Like exempt in New Jersey. You have people that are exempt from taxes, but they still have to pay their sewer and utility bills. All right. And a lot of investors do not like to bid on those, or church buildings and worship buildings. A lot of people don't like to bid on those because they think that they don't have to pay taxes. They do have to pay property taxes. Okay. So farms are another one that I've noticed in New Jersey that do not get bid on heavily, and that's because they don't have a lot of taxes to pay. So, but your job is to find those types of properties that are not bid heavily and see where you can invest with less competition, right? And I have a client who just got 3 liens in New Jersey at an online sale. He lives in another state. He lives on the West Coast. And the reason he was able to do that is because he knew what type of properties to bid on. Okay. He got those liens without paying any premium, which is unusual in New Jersey. Okay. He got one of them at 18%. Also unusual to be able to do that in New Jersey, but you just have to know what you're doing. Okay, so that's just one of the tricks that I teach my coaching clients to do. And if you're interested in finding out more about coaching with me, you could go to getprofitabletexliens.com. And I don't know if my assistant Claudette is on here this morning, is on Facebook, because I'm doing this on StreamYard, okay? But I can see all the comments on Facebook. So I don't know if you're here, Claudette, you could put that in the comments. Get Profitable Tax Liens with an S, plural.com. And that will take people directly to the page where they can find out more about my coaching. Now, let me tell you something about the coaching program that is not on that page, okay? Because I have my year-long program also includes a VIP day. But what I want to talk to you about is the 6-month program. Because just because this is the end of the year, and I'm not going to do this very long, this is a limited time, I've opened up a payment plan for 6 months coaching with me. You won't see it on that page until you click on the 6-month option and go into the shopping cart. When you go into the shopping cart, you'll get the option of the payment plan or paying for everything up front. And the payment plan is only $15 more than paying for everything up front. And most people charge, a couple $100 for a payment plan. And it probably is costing me more than it is than the $15, because every time we do a payment on our site, we have to pay our merchant account, our gateway, and our shopping cart. So yeah, so it's a great deal. And I don't know how long it will be available, maybe just until Christmas or maybe until the end of the year. So take advantage of that now. And you know what? I think I can go ahead and post a comment here on StreamYard and it'll show up for you guys on Facebook. If I could spell it right here for you. Okay. It is let me just put the www dot. getprofitabletexliens.com. Okay, I put that in for you. Now, the other thing I want to tell you about is we have a webinar tonight, and it's a free webinar. Okay, so when you register for this webinar tonight, I have a special guest coming who's going to talk about special investment opportunities. So this is for people that have the money to invest, but they don't have the time to do it. These are done with you, totally passive investment opportunities that my friend is going to talk about tonight. And it is at 7 p.m. It is free to come to the live call. So you could register for that call. Let me put another link in there for you. And I'll just put www.itstaxlienlady.com live-free-webinar registration. Now, it is free to come to the live call. To get the replay, you have to be a member of Wealth Building Webinars. This is one of our Wealth Building Webinars, part of our Wealth Building Webinar series. But I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to join Wealth Building Webinars because we are going to be ending that membership. This is going to be the last month for Wealth Building Webinars. From now on, in order to get the replay, you have to be a member of the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator. So we're not going to do a membership to just the Wealth Building Webinars. And if you are a member of Wealth Building Webinars, this will be your last month. You will not be charged again after December, just to let you know. Okay, so that is your tax lien tip for this morning, is that one thing that you could do to increase your success in tax sales is to get the results of previous tax sales. For that same tax sale that you want to go to, get the results of previous tax sales first, find out if it's worth it for you to go to in the first place, how much money you need, and which properties are not as aggressively bid. Those are the type of properties that you want to target going forward. All right, and I gave some details on how to do that. If you missed the beginning of this Facebook Live, it will be here on Facebook as soon as we're done. Okay, so this was your 10-minute tip for this morning, 10-minute tax lien investing tip. And I will be here tomorrow morning with another tax lien investing tip. And remember, sign up for tonight's webinar, register, and come live so that you can come live for free. All right, bye now.